The topic of our interviews is that international news is talking about the fact that Johannesburg, South Africa is facing a water shortage. It happened because there wasn't enough rain for a long time. Also, sometimes people use too much water and don't save it. The other reason is that this city is dealing with a perfect storm of crumbling critical infrastructure.
Okay, my name is Colin. I'm from South Africa.
And I'm Kirsten. I'm from Australia.
And I'm William. I'm from Victoria, Australia.
So I'm from South Africa. So I can tell you a lot about it. The water shortage began in the south, in Cape Town, in 2015. And it actually ended yesterday, March 31st. So we had restrictions in our country until March 31st, 2024. Yesterday was April 1st, the restriction ended. So yes, in South Africa, we are not, for example, allowed to wash our car with a hose pipe or use water in the garden at all. The rules are very strict. You can only shower one time a day. You cannot take a bath. You cannot even fill up a swimming pool. So compare that to Taiwan. I feel there's a lot of freedom, even though Taiwan did experience a water shortage as well, maybe 2 years ago.
I don't know a lot about the South African water shortage, but I have been through droughts in Australia and water restrictions, and I do feel like they're much stronger in Australia when they do the water restrictions than in Taiwan, because it's the same, and we had only a limited 3-minute shower. We were only allowed to use 3-minute shower, and they taught us a lot about grey water. So you had to, when you had a shower, you were meant to put pots in the shower and collect the water, and then you could use that water to water your plants, or even flush your toilet. They said use that water that you used in the shower to flush your toilet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was the strictest it's ever been, but there's been other times it hasn't been so strict.
Yeah, I remember when I was a child, they taught us a lot about how to save water. They taught us about, when we're brushing our teeth, to only use the water for a very short time. We need to turn it off while brushing our teeth. We need to, if you just pee, maybe you shouldn't flush the toilet. And they also taught us about, 3-minute showers. When we're washing the dishes, we cannot turn the water on for a long time. We can just turn the water on and put the plug inside the sink and let it fill with water. And then we can, use the bubbles and use the water to wash all of our dishes. And then we can dry it. They taught us this when we were children. And when I came to Taiwan and I see, the people here using the hose on the side of the road, yeah, it's very different, but I'm not sure about South Africa, but it sounds like it maybe was
Very
similar. Yeah.
So the big problem with our crumbling infrastructure is that South Africa was built in the 1960s for a very small minority of people. The white people built it for the white population. And then apartheid allowed the black and the white population to come together. The population tripled, but the same amount of water was allocated. So a very small amount of water was allocated to a very large population suddenly, and nothing has been done to accommodate for the increase in population. What actions can government take to address it?
I think this comes down to education. Like when I was a child, we learned a lot about how to save water. I do remember the pots in a shower.
I think it's not, individuals can do a lot, but then we need to also make sure the companies, the larger companies are doing the right thing, because they use so much more than anyone else, and the farmers make sure. Yeah.
And there was also a lot of we would see our neighbor washing the car with the hose, and a lot of the neighbors would become angry with them and how dare you? You don't have much water. Yeah, we had to wash our car with a bucket only if we really wanted to. Yeah.
Government should regulate companies, but they should impose fines for companies that they catch out. I think both in Taiwan and abroad, and publicize it, make it very public knowledge.
I mean, for desalination, maybe the technology is getting better and better. There's also like, for a long time, maybe in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we had issues where certain areas wouldn't get a certain amount of rains, but now they shoot, crystals into the sky to make rain. Technology is coming a long way to help with water shortages in some areas.
I agree. There's not much I can say about technology. I'm not very aware of it, but I can say that there are ways to make salt water fresh water, right? There are machines, right?
Desalination.
So turning salt water from the ocean into drinking water.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's what they do in the Middle East. No, in the Middle East.
Oh, in the Middle East. Okay.
It accounts for 95% of their...
That's all.
Thank you.
From this interview, it can be seen that the water shortage problem continues to occur. Residents must save water and learn to store water. The government needs to improve infrastructure to effectively avoid water shortages.